Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Akashic Insights Weekly. We're looking at August 2022, 8th through 14th. And I'm your host, Jen Duchenne of jendushen.com, Akashic Swan Guidance, and I'm using the Illuminating Journey Cards that I created with the help of the Akashic Records. We're going to pull a card first for August. What is in the energetics for us to know from the cards for August? And then we will pull 3 cards for this week. So, the first card, so this is August. What's in this for us for August? What do we need to know? So I find it fascinating, first of all, that we have a number, that it's one of the level cards, because numbers are very connected to us. It was the earliest way that the universe would or did connect to us. So our systems are very familiar, even if we don't know today what the word numbers mean. So 3. The first thing that comes to mind is the yellow, the color, very much about the energy of our power center, of how we are connecting to who we are, to the awareness, to our ego, to the thing that kind of our will. What is it that we will do? What is it that we won't do? The 3 speaks of the divine communion. So 1, if it represents the male or the energy of action, 2, the energy of female or the energy of awareness. What are we taking action on? And 3 is the child, or the thing that is created through that union of 1 and 2, of having an idea, inspiration, and taking action. We create this energy, the energy of curiosity, the willingness to be joyful with what is coming through for us, what is true. We think about a child and how a child approaches life. A child is curious, in wonderment. Let me just experience what will happen if I add water to this, sand. Oh, I get mud. What happens if I pick it up and throw it in the air? There is this sense of complete delight. I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to try different things based on my curiosity. So this is very much a heart-based energy, as opposed to, so the beauty of a will combined, the undivided will, is that we are willing to approach all things with curiosity, without attachment, because we don't know what to expect, so we don't have any expectations. We're just bringing joy, delight, our curiosity, our fascination with life, so that we can evolve emotionally, because 3 also speaks to the emotions. And it's how we know that something's happening. We feel something, right? And then we know, oh, this is what is happening now. Or we are, we see something and we have an idea about what we want to do, and that then elicits a different emotion, a different experience. So there's very much an opening happening with the 3. A 3 brings us into an energy of knowing ourselves differently, and that's the opportunity that the 3 brings us. August itself is a 5 universal month. It's a 14, and so with the 5 and the 3, these are both numbers that live on rockers. They open, and this 3 is open to the future. It is allowing, or it's like an ear. It's listening. What is there? Come in, come in. So you see, it looks like an ear. It can also represent the top of a key. It can represent, I don't know, Mickey Mouse ears or a chef's hat. So there's many ways we can think about a woman's breast. This idea of being open to our emotions, open to something that is different. And because it's different, we are not presupposing, we're just allowing, exploring, and improving our ability to discern what is true. So this tells me that we are going through a massive shift right now as a collective, as individuals. We're moving from being rigid and stuck, and this is what it means, and this is what happens when this happens, to something like, I really don't know. I'm kind of open, I'm moving, I'm allowing, I'm feeling, I'm shifting and changing into the glory, into the joy of being more of who I am, more expressed, more open, more willing. So that certainly is something that we need as a collective in order to be more available to growth and change and new experiences. So I think it's very exciting. The yellow to me is also a very happy color. It's a color of sunshine and joy. So when we think about that, what does yellow bring to our experience? Let's jump in. Do you like my new earrings? I just got these. I think they're gorgeous. I'm so excited. It was one of those 3 impulses. I walked into a shop. I don't really go shopping much, but I walked into a shop. I was visiting a little town, and I passed the shop, and I was with somebody, and I was like, do you mind? I just want to go in that shop. And so I went in, and I saw these, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to buy them. Anyway, now my hair is sticking on them. Anyway, let's go into the cards for the week, the 8th through the 14th. First card is the Soul Portal 2. So first my eye goes to the fact that there is yellow in here. There's a relationship happening here, which could be a relationship of 3. The deer, the figure here, which could be a fairy, a fawn, it could be a woman, a man, a being, and in the middle, the goblet, the energy that holds the divine union, the idea of being a container that holds the wisdom of the surroundings, the wisdom of what is possible, and then below the reflection. So this is very much a card of wonderment. It's a card of looking down and going, what else is possible? What have I missed? What have I not seen? It's a very soft, warm, inviting experience to experience our relationships to life, to our will, to what is the relationship between an idea and the part that wants to not only go forward with the idea, but to discover what there is. When we take an idea, inspiration, and the idea that we want to go forward with it, right? So we move away from going, okay, this is feminine, this is masculine. Well, this is really how our systems work. We are inspired, and when we're inspired, we wait to feel that moment where we want to activate that inspiration. And because we don't know what it is, the first thing we want to do is explore, which is this, right? So when I look at this card, it makes me think about that moment where the figures in the portal are in that moment of inspiration, and they're looking in wonderment at what is possible. Like, what is that? My reflection? Who is that? Because we're talking about the 2, the relationship to each other. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the 2 has meaning here in this whole scenario, but thinking that the 2 is running right through the year, it's significant in the sense that when we think about the relationship that we have with wonderment, the relationship we have with being inspired, the relationship we have with taking our inspiration into reality, how do we do that? So I think this is a very lush invitation to explore the next level of being inspired when we're in that place of looking, what is happening when I'm inspired? What do I feel called to do? What do I feel called to respond to, react to shift and swivel towards? The second card, so in the 3, is very interesting here that we have the 2 green cards. So green is very much about the heart and by this invitation. They're both about nature, the nature of ourselves, the nature of how we relate to the world, this secret place of being in touch with oneself and coexisting with the external. So the internal, external existence and experience that we can create through this. The 34, the 2 and the 34, the green, there's touches of yellows and oranges in both of these. You could say there's 3 key pieces here: fire, the figure, and the pyramid. This is very much an earthy intention. So step 1, I'm gazing at wonderment. Step 2, I'm moving towards the deeper part of the forest to know myself, the wild side of me, the untamed part of me that wants to explore the parts that I haven't really explored in the past because I've been too busy creating a container so that, people wouldn't tell me what to do and all of those things. So now I'm feeling like I know myself enough to travel towards that new adventure, that new experience, because I am working on the 3, right? The idea that to create something new of myself, of my life, of my experience, I must know the inspiration, and then I must seek to be even more inspired so that I can create from that place, because we create when we're inspired and we have one big idea, but then we need little small steps to truly get the idea going, the shift in ourselves. So this adventure of going forward out there on a, there is no path there. It's just keep going, follow what calls you. And here is the figure going towards that, walking straight, just completely at ease with the idea of moving forward. Yes, it makes me want to just sigh, not in a sorrowful way, but sigh into the idea of surrendering into this experience. And then the third card of the 3 is the 25. So something that's interesting to me is this 34. I didn't talk about it, but it is a 7. And this card here, 25, is also a 7. So we have a 3, a 2, a 7, a 7. So fascinating. And 7 speaks to us knowing ourselves more, right? Knowing the heart truth of who we are, the soul's truth, the depth, going deeper into who we are. So even though we're learning more about our surroundings and how we create in the surroundings, we also are becoming more established in who we are in this space. And we do that through this adventure. So besides that, the other thing I find very interesting is that all 3 of these cards are about a journey, a particular kind of sense of being out of our normal environment. So we are taking a risk. We're moving outside of what is known, away from what is typical. So this card has the yellows in the background here and some down here, and it has greens also around here and a little bit here, and then there's blues. So we're going yellow, green, so yellow from the solar plexus, green to the heart, blue to the throat, to really expressing what is true. And in this card, in the soul portal, the figure who arrives, in a sense, faceless, because awareness, you arriving in some new place, arriving in an old place as a new person. The territory is unknown. This, looking at this, it's like there's a butterfly right here opening up with 2 different types of wings. Is this side and this side feeding each other, all portals to new things. Everything here morphing into something different because the figure comes with no expectation. The figure arrives, let me explore, let me taste, let me experience, let me open my heart. Let me know myself and my environment with new eyes. So that's this week's reading. I'm Jen Duchenne, jenduchenne.com, Akashic Swan Guidance. I'm a mystic mentor, and I guide people to know the truth of who they are from their soul outwards. So if you're interested in talking to me, please reach out. I offer programs, meditations, and one-on-one guidance and Akashic readings. I'll see you next week.